Whether you're new to pool and practicing the basics, or a more experienced player performing drills to improve your shot making and positional play, the Drill Partner is perfect for you.
Good evening or good morning, I guess, depending on what part of the world you're in. Molina Mike here, and yeah, pumped to do an evening show. It's been a little bit. Hopefully, you guys can hear me and see me all right. Let me know in the chat. I'll go ahead and bring that up here in just a moment. I'm really excited for this show. I got a message the other day, and of course, I got to always make time for the legend herself and the Hall of Famer, which I'm going to bring her on in here in just a moment, Kelly Fisher. It was a great show this morning. Got to chat with another world champion in Albin Ocean, and still working on a few projects and things for this week, which I'm super pumped about. I've been enjoying getting like more and more guests on, and it's been traveling. Mac Daddy says it's good. And just like exploring like different aspects within Q Sports. I feel like it's so vast, and in like every little angle and topic that I get to go down, whether it's talking with amateur players or world champions, like I thoroughly embrace it and love learning new things, whether it's like habits or processes or just how they're getting prepared in preparation, and then also hearing like today with Albin and just like how human he is and how he still gets nervous even though he's a multiple time world champion. So um anyhow, I'm gonna go ahead and bring on in Kelly. She's actually of course, she's out of the UK, but she's in Brisbane, Australia right now playing some hayball. So I'm excited to catch up with her, see how she's doing. And yeah, Kelly, welcome back to the show. Can you hear me all right?
Hey, Mike. Yes, I can hear you perfectly. Nice to see you again.
Likewise, likewise. How is Australia? I'm a little jealous because I'm in hot South Texas, and when I envision Australia, I just think of like tropical weather and beautiful weather and all these things. How is it out there for you right now?
Well, it's been raining.
Oh boy, okay,
Yeah, yeah,
well, there you
yeah,
go. Yeah.
yeah. Most days it's been raining. It's quite humid. We've had a couple of decent weather days, but been very busy here, to be honest, playing in the competition. So not really had too much chance to explore. I'm hoping I stay in the competition,
Yeah.
but maybe there'll be
Well, you're
one day I can
you're
have a
through
look.
already to single elimination, right? You qualified for redraw.
Yeah, yeah, I just won my match this morning. For me now it's 1 p.m. and I just won my match at 10 a.m. this morning. And my next match in the last 16, which is single elimination, that starts at 5:30 p.m. So, yeah,
Oh, so y'all
all
start
good.
off with 64, and then the redraw is 16 altogether. So eight on top when the winner side, which you're through, and then eight one loss side players.
Correct. Yeah,
Yeah.
correct. It's single elimination at the last 16. Yeah, in this event.
How are you
64.
doing playing hayball? Because it's a different discipline. I got a chance to hang out in Mexico at a hayball event, and just listen, I can miss on any table, but I especially miss on hayball tables. What's it like going from playing American pool, and of course you got history in all Q sports, but like to playing this event because it's extremely challenging.
Well, for me, I think it's, I've always said this because I've played hayball here and there for quite some years now. Back in, I think it was, and don't quote me on this, but I want to say 2013 ish, 12, something like that. I got to the final of it was back then, it was called Chinese pool, same game, more
Yeah.
or less. In Yushan, China, I got to the final of the World Championships and lost to Chen Ximin. And I played in numerous joy events, just once or twice a year maximum. But here and there, I've played for many years. For me, I've always said it's a great hybrid game between snooker and American pool, which suits me because I came from snooker and I've been playing American pool. So I've always thoroughly enjoyed it. Yes, it's frustrating. Yes, you can miss balls that you think are in the pocket. And you're like, wow. I mean, even today, I had a shot that I thought was in, got up to go and, walk to my next shot to realize it rattled. And I'm like, golly. But don't get me wrong, it's a great game. It's a tough game. And we're seeing now a lot more male and female Q athletes, whatever, coming from snooker, coming from English pool, and coming from American pool. And we're seeing them improve now. There's a lot more getting better. They're focusing on playing a lot more hayball. There's good money in hayball. predominantly in China, and Joya pumping a lot of money in for the global tour. So yeah, we're seeing a lot more players now improving and getting tables to practice on and stuff. So it's good.
Do you like if let's listen, obviously we know the Asian players, especially when they're like always focused on playing A ball or Chinese A ball or nine ball, whatever, like they can be a different type of competition. Like when you're playing against, let's say, a European type player, maybe a player coming from like the UK, are you kind of like are you weighing in strategy when it comes to a player like that versus playing an Asian player, which you know maybe you can't give a better to look at?
Well, for me, I wouldn't say I'm experienced enough to really go that deep into it. I just kind of focus on like playing my game and the percentages for me. If I think I can clear the table, especially at eight ball, it's different completely to American eight ball. But if I think I can clear the table, and I've not got any problem balls that I don't think I can, you know, get rid of or open up, then of course there's a lot more safe places on a hay ball table than there is on an American pool table. So, I just kind of focus on my game and my percentages and just try and play what I see really, if I'm totally honest.
Well, I can tell you're getting more comfortable because I got a chance to check out your match today, and I think the first two racks they maybe lasted like 2 minutes a rack, which is just unbelievable. But you seem to be like just very much at ease out there. I know she closed the gap, making it 2-2, but after that, it looks like you won 6-2. So I mean, you look like you're doing all right out there.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't say that I'm practicing a lot of it because I haven't. Since I was in the European Championships Hayball in Germany, I won the European Hayball Championships, followed by the European Open. So I got, that week I played really well, played really solid, but then I had to fly and go and play an American pool event. And like 3 or 4 back to back in Vietnam, Indonesia, and Bali. So then I'm back on the American pool mindset. So
That's
I've
a
not
lot going
played
on.
any. Yeah, I've not played any hay ball since Germany. And then from the Bali event, I did go and train on hay ball because this is the world championship. So I wanted to have some preparation, not just winging it.
Right.
So I do feel quite comfortable, confident a little, not, it's still, I do feel, I can't explain it. I just feel that this is a hybrid, and for me, it suits me. I actually kind of enjoy it more, if I'm totally honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, than I do 9 or 10 ball. It reminds me back of my snooker days. So, but still playing pool, which is, like I say, a great formula for me. But I know I have a lot to learn, and I know I need to improve more for sure. But yeah, I'm enjoying it, which is the main thing. It's the main thing, really.
Talking about all these events that are happening in China, and I've heard from friends of mine, they got 50,000 added events on a regular basis out there in China with Hayball. Like, what's it like seeing at this point of your career, like all these new events, new, a new game, not a new game basically, but like, a game kind of coming to a resurgence in Hayball, and just seeing like this influx of talent and sponsorships and just all these great things for you ladies, because if I'm not mistaken, I think that World Championships it's equal money for men and women. No.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. The winner is for both men and women. It's 30,000 for the winner, and all of the WHT Joy events, they're all equal prize money, and this is all part of the WPA and the connection together for the Olympic dream that we're all, trying to work on to get Q Sports in the Olympics. So things have to be equal, in that realm. For me, it's exciting. I mean, I know from being in China a lot that there's a lot of money in hayball. It's their game. They began as in America, you walk into a bar and you've got an American pool table.
Okay.
In the UK, you walk into a bar, you've got an English pool table, followed by, well, not even followed by, primarily snooker tables are used. So snooker's a huge game, and English pool. In China, you walk into a pool room and it's predominantly Chinese tables, the hayball tables, and that's 80% played, more than snooker. Snooker and American pool make up the 20-something percent. um, of the Q Sports, which is hard to believe, but hayball is their game for sure. So the amount of money that's in China for a long time, there's been a lot of money in China. But again, tournaments are in pool rooms. There's not been really until late, where there's been promoters putting on huge events. Joy did it for many years, but it was one event per year, the Grandmasters. And for the last few years, they've got their tour in China. That's a lot of money. I mean, you're talking, it's every couple of months or every month even. And they've got the small events, which is like $90,000 for the winner.
Yeah.
And they've got their, what they call a super station. So and that is where it's an average of 200 and something thousand for the winner. And they just have a tour that's doing that. And the events are back to back. You've got the station event and then the super station event following it. I mean, there's 300,000 there to be earned in a week and a half, you know. So, but the thing is, they predominantly cater for mixed events. So there's not a separate women's event. So, and that's in China or whatever promoter. It's predominantly mixed events, as to my knowledge, where a female would get a spot, a handicap, if you like. And
listen, I talked to Jack and Jordan when I was out there, and that spot, especially for a player of your class, is strong. Like I like your chances because you get a ball off the table, if I'm not mistaken, right? Like the last ball.
That's correct. Well, they've done last ball, first ball, and it's huge when it's a last ball. For one part, it went to the first ball. In my honest opinion, Mike, I don't really truly agree with it.
Why do you say that?
You know, because in my two things, I think it's demoting, devaluing female athlete players. Putting them. It's saying it's, we realise you're not as good, so we'll give you a handicap. Now, I'm just a competitor. I understand we're not as good. I'm not saying we are as good as, the top female players are not as good as the top male players. The middle range are not as good as the middle range. We know that. We're not disputing that. But we've no need to, I don't have to prove myself by playing a guy. In the female world, I am what I am. And whether I'm number one ranked, which I'm not, or whether I'm number 50, it doesn't matter. We warrant our own ranking. We've got enough talent. Just like in tennis, you wouldn't ask Serena Williams to play against Federer to prove how good she is, So that's the way I look at it. It's just the competitive side of me. I do, though, again, back to the competitive side of me, love it. I love it. I love playing against the guys. I don't want anybody to get me wrong. It's not that I'm saying that I don't, because I do. I have no pressure on me. The guys have got the pressure on them because they should win. Fun. Yeah. So it's not that I don't like that challenge as a competitor, but I also don't like sometimes the aftermath of it where, women are not as good as men, this kind of thing. No need to prove that. Women are women in any sport.
It's like that in any sport. Yeah. Where you have, tennis especially, that comes to mind, but like if, and while I can understand and respect and agree with you for sure when it comes to that aspect, and that's why it was great when I heard that today, listening to, or I think maybe it was yesterday when I heard during the commentary saying it was equal prize funds. I mean, I love that. But, if you were to play a mixed event, like, how big is that spot really? Because I mean, it's huge, right?
Yeah, if it's the last ball, it's huge.
Yeah.
I played in the Joy Masters in May this year, and I knocked out Chris Mellon. I knocked out a top Chinese player, two of them actually. I knocked them out. Both of them had just won these events that I was telling you about that are 200 and something. They just won. The one that I knocked out had won two back to back, apparently, and the other guy had I think previously won one of the Masters. So you're talking Gareth Potts and above level, around that level.
It's top shelf.
It's huge, and they were under a lot of pressure. And like I say, I'll take it, and I'll come to the challenge. But for me, as a female, I think if I'm truly honest to myself and just be transparent of really how I feel, if I choose to play in an open event, a mixed event, then I'm choosing to play in that. So it should be off even, in my opinion.
Yeah,
Or I don't play and I just stick to my women's events. That's a choice I have.
yeah.
Handicap, whilst I'll take it. There's money to be earned.
And good money
I'm
too. Like I don't think there's anything.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I forget how much I got now, but it was good payout for. I got to the last 16, and for last 16 it was. I think I can't remember now, like 12, 15,000.
Yeah.
So I'll take it. But if I'm truly honest and honest to myself, I don't agree with it. I think that if I choose to play in an open event, then we're off even. Nor do I. Then I've got a choice if I want to or not. But with this handicap, again, I'm being a bit hypocritical because I went in it and I played in it. I took the handicap and I took the prize money that I won. But at the end of the day, it's something that I would like to see in an ideal, lovely, perfect world. A male event of this kind. I mean, that tournament, the prize money was $750,000 for the winner.
The winner, yeah.
And then 200 and something for the runner-up. I'd love to see a female event alongside it, where I'm not saying they have to be equal prize money. I'm not saying that because China, the standard in China of the men players is unbelievable. And the standard of female players is something that we haven't all got to see yet. It's unbelievable. But a female event with, I don't know, half the price, whatever, I'd love to see that. And then we could have a mixed event. I don't know. I just think, I know in tennis there's a physical difference, but still, there is a difference between the break. There is a difference between the mental side. There's a difference between the muscle, twitch, flex, whatever they call it. So there's differences. We know that because we've talked about all the different subjects regarding this. But, that's just my overall opinion.
I think and I think if you were to talk to players, I've spoken with a couple of them, especially this past week coming from Mexico, where they I don't think that they despise the handicap in the sense of just giving it in general. I think it's more of they really respect the hell out of you lady players, where they're like, that's tough to fade. Like in other words, your skill level is way too high in order to say I can give her a ball and think that it's supposed to even out, and I'm not saying, listen, there's not a lot of Kelly Fishers in the world, clearly, but
there's a good number in China, I'll tell you. There's a good number around the world. We're improving. All the young ones are coming through, but I just think it's a bit unfair on the guys, if I'm honest. I can't explain, just based off my explanation. I just think it's a bit fair. It's their livelihood too, and it's an handicap. We're professional players.
I love that standard. That's what you would hear from. That's what I would expect to hear from a professional player. It's different if you're talking to amateurs looking for an edge or whatever.
Exactly. If I'm in a league or whatever, nothing wrong with it. We've all, male and female, have handicaps based on their level of ability for in some of the leagues, etc. That's fine. But if we're professional players, then I think we've got to have that mutual respect that we're all off the same. And if we win, we win. If we don't, we don't. If we want to play, we play. If we don't want to play, we don't want to play. If I want to pay the travel to China and play, that's my choice. But to give the handicap, I don't think it's fair on the guys, if I'm honest.
I love that nature of it, because that's just you play to win, and you want to, it doesn't matter who they are. You want to rip their head off, and so I love that. I love that.
And it's a different feeling if you win a match with a handicap, if I'm honest. For me, it's a different feeling. It's like, well, I won the match, but I can remember every rack I have to take the last ball off, and several racks there that I might not have got out if I didn't have to, because I can leave that last ball blocking his ball, and it just doesn't sit right with me.
It's a whole other game. You talk about that last ball. It is a whole other aspect.
And it doesn't give you the same feeling of winning the match fair and square. That's just me. And I just, I'll take, like I say, I'm not being a hypocrite here. I'll take it. It's prize money. That's the rules.
Yeah.
But it's just something doesn't sit quite right.
Talk to me about the venue out there in Brisbane, Kelly, because I'm hearing whistles. It sounds like balls are dribbling. I'm hearing all kinds of stuff out there, picked up on the mics. Where are y'all playing at right now?
We're playing in the Nissan Arena. It's a netball stadium, I believe. I think there's other sports going on there, fencing, different things, but
Nice.
predominantly it's netball. So we have netball matches going on around. There's other athletes in there, but it's not actually. You can hear it, but it's not like as bad as you think for any kind of off-putting. We were warned about it beforehand, and basically, like pretty much in the players' meeting, like it was said that if we get in the Olympics, there's not just us, we're not going to have a silent room there either.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
going to be other sports going on, and we need, we need to realize and
I
respect
love that
that. And
comparison, though. Yeah.
yeah, and it was right. I never, because we would have had players complaining had in the players' meeting that the organisers not really kind of said it like that. So I thought, oh yeah, you're right, that's cool. So it's fine, and for me personally, I haven't found it off-putting. I've not heard anybody really say anything negative. The venue is very, very nice.
Yeah.
The conditions are great. It's a little bit humid, so the tables are playing a bit humid, but what a beautiful TV table. Yeah, it's really nice setup. Beautiful opening ceremony. They always do, though, if I'm honest. And even the rest of the 16 other tables, the outside tables, as we call them, they're all brand new. I mean, it's all set up, referees every table. It's good standard, how it should be.
What would it mean to you, Kelly, and because I'm hearing there's a lot of buzz and momentum when it comes to getting Hayball into the Olympics. What would it mean to you, given, through your career, like, did you think you'd ever see that day come, and what does it mean to you to have the opportunity to represent your country as an Olympian?
Well, I mean, when I've talked in the past about winning the World Championships would be a dream. When I won the gold medal at the World Games, that was the dream, because that's the next step down from the Olympics that we have for Q Sports. If we got in the Olympics and I'm still here playing at this level and could get to represent my country, I can't express how I feel of what kind of dream that would be for me. And I'm getting older, and the more the more this goes on, and if we don't get in the 32 Brisbane Olympics, then we've got to wait for it. And I'm like, come on, please, if we're going to get in it, hurry up, But it would be an absolute dream. And if it doesn't get in this time, and it's another 4 years later or 8 years later, whenever, to be honest, not only with my position on the WPA board, that I'm saying this truthfully from my own heart, that for the good of our sport, for the what that would do for American pool, Hayball, even snooker, English pool, but we're on about pool here. What it would do for our sport across the globe would be, it would just blow it out the water, and not just because I'm on the WPA, but that would open opportunities for our players that we've never seen before, and that is exciting. So I would love to be a part of it, and we're working really hard to try and make it happen. And if it does happen, fantastic. But even if it doesn't, the goal is still there, because what it would do for our sport is just frightening, and it's all positive. It can only blow it out the water. So it's exciting.
I love that, and I love players that take pride in competing like yourself and take pride in representing your country. And I feel like the idea of it being a little closer now, at least the opportunity from what I'm hearing. Like, listen, we all love Q Sports here, but like, I think in the world, we're kind of like the redheaded stepchild to some extent, when it comes to like getting respect as far as compared to other sports, whether we feel that way or the outside world feels that way. So it feels like if we were to get that opportunity, it kind of feels like we got there,
Well, exactly. Just prior to this interview with you, Mike, I had to do an interview in the arena with, I think it was WPA Live, and also they have another doing some different stuff as well to promote it here in Brisbane, which is why it's like a campaign, a Olympic campaign that we're doing in Australia and obviously in Brisbane. And they asked me the question, do I believe that Q Sports should be in the Olympics? And of course, I I do. Of course, I do, and I explain why. And I mean, yeah, we're not, like I said earlier, we're not tennis players. We're not physical. We don't have to have the regime of the physical fitness side of it. But as you can see over the years now, the best players that are coming through, they are athletes at the end of the
Yeah.
day. They are working out, they are keeping fit, they are eating right, they have got not only their nutrition but their hydration to think about. We've also got, the physical stamina that we have to work at. We're flying all over the world,
Yeah.
and I mean, I'll be honest with you. Last night, just for example, I'm playing at 10 a.m. The night before, I fell asleep at 1:30 in the morning. I woke up at 5. I couldn't go back to sleep. So
That's
that I
crazy.
slept 3.5 hours. Last night, I fell asleep at 4 in the morning and woke up at 8. I couldn't fall
Yeah.
opposite way around. So, that's tricky with jet lag, and it's just, you need that stamina. And hence why, as I'm getting older, I'm trying to actually improve all that. When I was younger, I didn't care so much, but now it's like I've got to keep up with the young ones. So, we it's not just hitting balls on a table in a pub or a bar. It's a different level totally, and we actually deal with the mental strength that's required. We're much more of a mindset game. That mental strength is very, very important.
I don't know how you do it, and obviously I don't travel nearly as much as you all do. But that's one thing, especially over the last few years, that has really, like, I've gained so much more perspective and respect for all of you, male, men and women, because like
Yeah.
when I'm gone for a week, which is nothing compared to your schedule, but like, and I get off my routine, I mean, I'm a mess mentally, physically, like you mentioned, your sleep.
Yeah.
Uh, and then once you slide, it's so easy just to slide because you eat one terrible meal, then you're just like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, I'm already off my diet. I can just do this. But then it's like the fatigue and the energy and all these things. And that's why, like at my age, when I come home, I love it because I can get back into my normal, comfortable rhythm. But you never get that chance for the most part because you're living out of a suitcase for so long, Kelly.
That's right. You've got to be very disciplined. We've got, for example, I got Jasmine. She's very disciplined when it comes to her fitness, and even in a hotel, she's working out the gym and trying to maintain that you know um, routine, if you like.
Yeah, yeah,
For me, I'm not to that extreme. I like to do a little bit here and there, but I do like to be disciplined in my routine throughout the day. Kind of make sure I sleep well, which is
yeah,
hard to do. But
yeah.
the best I can, I make sure I'm in bed for a certain time. Of course, whether I can sleep or not is a different question. But I make sure that I go outside and take a walk and do this and that and practice before this, and it's just my own little routine and my own preparation. But what's tough is, like, I've got OCD, so when I'm at home, I can have my routine, and I like times and
Oh,
whatnot.
yes, yes, yes.
When you're traveling, it's very difficult. Although once I'm in here at the venue and at the hotel, I can have my own
Yeah.
OCD back. But yeah, it's tough. It's tough, and it's so tough on the your energy, and the jet lag is a killer. And so you've got to be strong mentally, physically. You've got to have some level of fitness, and you've got to maintain that. Otherwise, to be honest, whatever age you
Yeah.
are, but let alone as you get a bit older,
Yeah.
you've not got a chance to keep up with the rest of them.
I don't think you got a chance to make it if you're not disciplined in that aspect because
Yeah.
and I don't know about you, but I feel like every time I've gone on long trips to events, it's like as soon as I finally get in the smallest little rhythm, then it's time to go and
Yeah, yeah,
and,
yeah.
and off
That's
to another
exactly
place.
it. Off you go again, another
Yeah,
place.
yeah, yeah,
The key part, what's difficult for all of us to maintain the level that we want to play at, we need to practice and we need to train on our own, discipline drills, or we need to, be in that comfort zone of that routine of every day practice. I get up, I eat my breakfast, then I'll maybe do my fitness, and then at lunchtime I'll have a bite to eat. Then I'll go and practice from lunch all the way to whatever. I go and practice at morning, and everybody's different. So when you're on the road, as we call it, You can't have that because even here, they've got some practice tables, but we've got 128 players all wanting to practice.
Yeah.
So we've got to, you can't just go
That's
and say,
brutal,
right, okay, I'm going to do 4 hours today and do my drills. You can't do it. So I think that does have a little bit of an impact on our game. I notice the longer I'm on the road, I'm starting to feel like, God, I can feel, you'd think that we'd improve because we're playing matches after matches, but we're used to practicing 4, 6, some players 8 hours a day. Now we're playing an hour, 2-hour match, and that's it. We're done for the day. And if you can sneak another 20 minutes on a practice table, taking it in turns or whatever, that's about it. So, there's pros and cons, but very happy to have this problem and so many events. It is an exciting future that we have, to be honest, the way it's growing.
It's an exciting time, but at the same time, I get tired sometimes, so I don't know how you do it,
Mike. Let's not complain. Do you remember in COVID when we were doing all the online stuff?
Yes. No, listen, I love it. I do.
Yeah,
and it's like every weekend.
Future. We were scared of the future. We didn't know what was going to happen after COVID. I remember thinking, I'm going to have to go and find a job or get another career. And what am I going to do? Because, how can we survive? How can Poole survive COVID? And we've come out the gate of COVID, and all we've done is got momentum of more and more.
I love that attitude. Like that, and when you say that, it's so much easier to be like so inspired and continue to just dig deeper, to keep pushing forward.
That's right, and I try and say this to some of the young ones as well. But for me personally, I don't know how many years I'm going to be continuing to play. I'm going to play as long as I can, as long as I feel I'm good enough to compete at this level. But I'm 47 now, and let's be real, I don't know how long that I'll be. It could be 5 years, it could be 10 years, we don't know. But it's not like I'm at the beginning of my career or in the middle of my career. I'm at that latter stage. So I'm like just honestly taking it all in, being thankful, being grateful of every opportunity, and giving it my best shot, because that's how I'm looking at it now. From now till the end.
You're absolutely timeless, Kelly. You're a big reason why I fell in love with pool, and I can remember watching China Opens online and watching your matches. And I can remember very vividly a match between you and Allison, like deep in a China Open, maybe like a final 16 or a final 8. I'll never forget. I think it was like a hill. And one of you called a foul on yourself. And anyway, it was like,
oh, I remember that. Yeah, I know exactly the match you're talking about. Yeah.
And it was like, and I'm there and I'm like, what? And I couldn't hear nothing because I'm watching on the computer, and it's like probably like 4 a.m. or whatever. And, I'm intently watching and sweating the entire match. And then I see y'all kind of pause and kind of chat. And then I figured out what was going on. I was just blown away. And it was like, but thinking about then until now and how consistent you've been.
Funnily enough, today I called a foul on myself. That's just, sorry to interrupt you, but today I was over the ball, the 8 ball like that. And as I've gone to, I don't know even if I hit it. No, I didn't. I've gone to pull back to hit it, and I felt my skin touch the 8 ball. So I've got up straight away. Referee didn't see it. She didn't see it. So sorry to interrupt you.
No. I think I came in right after that because I heard the commentators kind of, and that's actually ironically enough what reminded me of it. Because that match always stuck with me, and it wasn't just about it wasn't just about sportsmanship. Because listen, as I've been able to get more, learning more about how y'all travel and thinking about how tough it is for y'all, men or women, right? Just the cost and financials, and I'd imagine the pressure of staying in the green and all these things, and then you think about a move like that, of calling a foul on yourself, and that just further makes me appreciate the character that you have, and the type of competitor you are.
Well, for me, it's no question. Not to say being brought up in snooker, but snooker was always all ball fouls, always, and it was just drilled into you. And I mean, in sportsmanship, and I do know that in American pool, a lot of back in when I started American pool, we had cue ball foul only. So a lot of American players or American pool players were used to just cue ball fouls. So when coming to all ball fouls is a little bit different, but still the integrity, I see it time after time. And I can be proud to say that, I can't think of anybody that I would think, oh, you wouldn't call it on themselves. Of course there'll be some, but let's be real. But, pretty much everybody's
Well,
definitely doing that.
I think it's good for hope. I don't know if I would say everybody. Let's hope they do, but I'll never forget
Yeah,
that.
well, all right.
This is like over 10 years ago. I'd imagine now, remembering that, but like that stuck with me, and that's part of why I'm a fan of yours and Allison,
Thank
of
you.
course, and yeah, never in a million years would I get to be here interviewing you. And that's why, like, when Kelly had hit me up the other day talking about coming on the show, I'm like, whatever you want. I don't care what time it is. I'll make time.
You did. You did, bless
Kelly,
you. Thank you.
looking on social media lately, Kelly, I see you got a new sponsor, Q Sport Hub USA. Let's talk about that because it kind of embodies a lot of things that we've been talking about here recently.
Yeah, it does. And that's what kind of, got me to reach out to you there, because basically I've got it's now I'm going to be the ambassador for Q Sports Hub USA, and it was something that I'd spoken to the two partners, Noel Flannery and James Hare. I've spoken to them quite a while back. They've got Q Sports Hub, which is based in the UK, but they've got members or subscribers and private. I'll go into it in a minute, but they've got private. I don't know what you call it.
Subscribers,
Clients.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've got subscribers. They've got private one-on-one clients as well. That basically in Europe and all around, Europe and somewhere around parts of the world. But we're launching and have launched Q Sports Hub USA. Now, what is it? It's basically a platform for mindset, basically performance enhancing based on your mindset. And it's really Noel Flannery. I always say that a bit wrong. He's a mindset coach, and he's the co-founder of Q Sports Hub, but he's a professional mindset coach. And many people have got psychologists, and that really helps in their life situation, things like that. But should I say, athletes or billiard players, Q Sport athletes, or even your amateur, semi-pro, whatever, anybody who plays, how many people come to me and say, oh, I get so nervous when it's hill, or when I need to make that last ball, the money ball, I twitch it, I dog it, whatever. Hence why you call it dogging it live, right?
Yeah.
Exactly, we've all dogged it, and we will do more so.
Yeah.
But you get some players that just can't quite get over the line, or some players that just get too nervous, or whatever it may be. No confidence, no discipline, whatever. And Noel Flannery, like I say, is a mindset coach. And on the platform, you can subscribe to the platform, and on there is numerous material of mindset videos, if you like, that basically you can go, click on it. Once you're a member, you can click on it and you can listen to him explaining various parts and aspects of the game, and not really just about the game. It's more about the mindset and the way, that it can help you if you kind of think like this, or if you look at it in a different way, a bit like having a session with a psychologist, really. Yeah. He does do private one-on-ones.
So it's so vital, Kelly. Yeah. And I've talking with Albin earlier was one of the questions that I asked them, because it was like, and it's amazing to me that even after like all the successes that a player like yourself or him that have had, it's like you still get nervous, you're still human, but at the same time, just like you go and practice when it comes to your stroke and your fundamentals and all these things, like giving the proper attention to between the ears, is so important. But like anything else, you gotta give it time and respect and put in the effort for it. That's a great resource.
That's right. But there's a couple of things as well. Like, for example, like I said, they reached out to me quite a while back, and I watched a couple of the videos, and I'm like, wow, that's very, it gets to you. It's the way, to be honest, is Scottish. So I understand him because I lived in Scotland and I'm from the UK, but he might be, to understand him, I've said to him, we're going to have to do subtitles. But he's got a strong accent. But I watched a few of the videos and I'm like, wow, that's a different way to look at it. All right. Yeah, okay. Talking about nutrition, talking about hydration, and it's not just like the scientific way, this equals that to do that. It's not about that. But it's very real kind of feeling. It's like he's talking to you personally, as opposed to talking to, just talking about the science of it. And this is what you need to do that kind of thing. It's very different. But he does offer one-on-one as well, where you can actually, and then what happened were, I got busy, we never retouched base, and then we come together a few months ago and chatted again. And since then, I'd noticed quite a few players that he'd been working with, Chris Mellin, I believe, and Stephen Ellis, and Gary Wilson, a snooker player that is doing great. Yeah. Emma Cunningham, she just won multiple world championships and European championships in the UK for English pool, and many more. Mary Talbot, my best friend, actually, who started.
Oh, I met Mary last week.
Yeah. So she's been working with him for a while, and I'm like, listen, all right, maybe I'm missing out here. All right. So we ended up connecting again. And from there, I had a couple of sessions with him myself. Now, everybody thinks, and this is where I wanted to touch on it, I had actually some one-on-one sessions, which I must say, it blew my mind, because it was a different way to work than I was expecting. The way that he works is very unique. It's like it gets to know you. It's not about just like I've explained. So, and people think, oh, Kelly's playing in this tournament, she's queuing well, must feel great. And you do the interview and you're like, yeah, I'm feeling brilliant. Yeah. I'm going to give it my best shot. Come on. I hope I can win my next match. Yeah. The usual.
All the cliches.
But correct. But nobody knows what's really going on.
Yeah.
And I'm, like I mentioned earlier, I'm getting older. Don't think I don't know it. So when the last month, 6 weeks prior to this event, and even before Germany, when I won the Hay Ball in Germany, 2 back-to-back events, before that, it's been a while since I've won an American pool event. And it's been a while since I've been in a final. And it's been a while since I've been in a semi-final. And it's like, what's going on? Yeah. I mean, the young ones are getting stronger. The depth of the talent is growing. I mean, we've got, there's so many more now. They're coming from all over the world, all over Asia, all over the world, and the standard is improving and improving. And I'm only human. Am I not as good now? Are they just getting better, or am I falling off? Am I not improving? You can go on, and them questions.
Wow, to me that like you still have these like creeping doubts, just like every other person does.
Yeah, of course. And am I getting older? Is it my eyes? Is it my focus? Is it, is it just that I'm losing it now and this is a downward beginning? And then I won the Hay Ball, and I'm like, back up again, feeling. Then I went to play in the China Open, followed by Vietnam, followed by Bali, Indonesia, 3 events back to back. Furthest I got with the last 16. I'm like, that's in American pool. Is it that the standard's too high now in American pool? Have I lost it? What's the price? Is my stroke not right? Am I playing Hay Ball and it's affecting my American pool? There's so many questions.
I was going to
go on through that, man. Yeah, so many. So I reached out. I had these private sessions with Noel, and I'm like, wow. And I'm already seeing it filtering in. I've only had 2 sessions, and I'm already seeing the mindset that he doesn't tell you what to do. He suggests the way to them thoughts, absorb them, and the way to either change them, manipulate them in your own mind, or the way to let them go, or the way to address them, whatever. It all depends on what you're talking about. And I was just blown away, because I've been to some sports psychologists before, and this is different. This is a different approach, different way to look at it. So I'm like, right, I want to do this. I want to do this because I think it can not only help professional level, not only help semi-professional level that are aspiring to be professionals, but the amount of amateur level players that come to me, I get messages every day or every other day, I would say, if I'm totally honest, but sometimes every day for spans of time, asking me on, about how to improve, how to not get nervous, how this, so many
That's one of the
mental
main
side.
questions that I ask top players all the time, and it's not because I just like run out of material to ask, but it's because I'm genuinely like fascinated by it. And like you, I've gotten messages before, like, do I know any sports psychologists, anyone that can help me with my game? And
Mhm.
really, it applies to so many, like, to all levels. All
All
levels.
levels.
Yeah, yeah,
Everybody's playing to it, and everybody's playing the game. And there's not one player that doesn't want to improve. There's
yeah,
not one player that gets annoyed when they miss that 9 ball to win, or that 9 ball
yeah,
to,
yeah.
for any time, the straight in 9, or the one with a bit of angle, the follow, the
Of
scratch, or
course.
whatever. The dog it. Let's really just put it down
Yeah,
to that. We've all done it, and we're all going to continue to do it. But it's how you process it, how you turn it into a positive. There's so many ways, and I mean, like I said, I just think it would help so many, anybody, any level. And I'm not just saying that to promote this Q Sports Hub USA. I'm really honestly truthful about it. Now, whether somebody just signed up as a subscription and just watch the videos, and they update content every month. It's $13.99 a month, I think, dollars. And you can subscribe, and then if you think, no, it's not for me, you can unsubscribe. You don't have to stay there. But the thing is, I just think it could really help so many people. Now, then you can do the private sessions, which are more expensive, but like I say, for me,
yeah,
absolutely second to none. But where I wanted to go with it more so, Mike, which I mentioned to you before we did this, was that's to improve your game, to improve your performance, to improve your mindset,
yeah,
covering all aspects of that. And it would leak over to your personal life too,
yeah.
for sure.
For sure.
For sure.
Yeah,
But let's talk about mental health problems.
yeah, yeah,
Now, what we never address in pool or in sports, really, especially with the top level, it never gets really addressed about players that are suffering from any mental health until either the player admits it, comes out, makes a statement about it,
yeah.
or that's pretty much it. Now, I watched 2 weeks ago Ronnie O'Sullivan, which everybody will know him, and Mark Selby doing on BBC. They were doing they'd come off a match, and they were just doing an interview. Sat there with Alan McManus interviewing them, and they were talking about this. And Ronnie turned around and said, and this is what made me reach out to you actually. Ronnie turned around and said, I feel that it's just not addressed enough in snooker. I suffer from mental health problems, he said. And Mark, you do too. You've opened up to the world about it, which they have, and the support that we've got, there's none. The lack of support is unbelievable. We've not got mental health coaches. We've not got mental health psychologists. He said, unless we go privately and get it. But it's like, until we opened up about it, he said, you don't realize when you're playing a Q Sports, you're out there all alone. We travel, we're all alone.
Yeah.
That when you win, there's a high. When you lose, it's such a low. How do you deal with?
Everybody wants to bury you. Yeah,
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 exactly. You go out there, the pressure
yeah,
of of performing, and how it feels when you don't perform, how that knocks you down, and how do you keep getting up? And he suffered with mental health. We know that, and like I said, Mark Selby has, and they both talked about this. And what Ronnie suggested was that there should be a mental health coach or psychologist on site at all tournaments, so that when that player gets beat or feels prior to a match how he feels, or even wins and feels the way, that he can go and have a session just to decompress, just to be able to talk to somebody, because we're on our own. I'm on my own now.
yeah,
When
yeah,
I win,
yeah.
I have to phone friends or family, or just to be able to
But
get
then
it off
there's
my
this
chest.
aspect of like not wanting to be vulnerable, right? Too, like it's kind of, it almost becomes like taboo in a sense, because you're just like, nobody wants to show weakness or
Correct.
vulnerability, or like
Correct.
show that they're going through it, right? You just want to show this tough persona, right, in this
Of
front,
course.
and then,
Of course.
but then what's
How mentally
behind the wall?
strong you are, you
Yeah,
know.
Yeah, and
It's such a mental game that we play. Like I said earlier, before we even touched on this, it's 80% mental
yeah,
when it comes to whatever level. If you've got two players of exactly the same level and ability, when they play a match, okay, we all know there's some luck involved, but we all know as well that consistency is what we're all searching for,
yeah,
because the more consistent you are, the more you're going to go out there and perform at that level. And the more, if you've got two players at the equal level, the one that's playing the best that day will win. So the more consistent, But we often don't talk about the mind of that, how to do that. It's not magic. It's not a drink I drink. It's not in this cup.
yeah.
Oh, I'm going to go and win tonight, so I can drink something to help that. We don't talk about it. And I can't even tell you how I have done it over the years compared to somebody who kept getting second, third, fourth,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
eighth, ninth.
Well,
I
yeah,
don't
because
know
you
what
you think about, like, you're mentioning not having success playing American pool lately, but there was a long stretch where, like,
yeah.
it was the Kelly Fisher
What's,
show, you know?
but what's the difference?
Yeah,
But why?
yeah, yeah,
So this is where I'm only human. The questions are there. And me and Alison sat down one day and we were talking about the switch to get in the zone when you're in a match. How sometimes you can have that zone-like feeling, the zen, if you like, and you don't even realize there's a crowd. You don't hear noises. You don't see anything but you and that table. And wouldn't it be great if there was a switch we could click that on? And we talked about it, and we worked out at that moment that between us, we had 70 years of 70 years of experience, and neither of us had a clue still.
yeah, yeah, yeah. If
We
that's
didn't
not
know.
eye-opening, I don't know what is, right? Like, that's
70 years between us.
yeah,
You had 40, been playing since you were a kid, and I had 30. Now we can add on more than that, because we're
yeah,
now at probably 80 years. We've had 45 and 50
yeah,
between us, 35 and 45, I mean. And we still don't know what the magic. I mean, I'm going to go to my match now at 5:30 over here, and I'm going to try and switch the switch on, but I don't have a switch, and I don't have a
yeah.
magic way to make sure I do. I just
But
try
that's
my
the
best
wild
to
thing, is
do
that,
what I
like,
do.
everybody's so different. That's part of, whenever you were talking about speaking with that gentleman earlier, it's like, that's what,
Yeah.
to me, and this is something that I learned during COVID, ironically enough, was like, because all my family is educators, my mom, my aunts, all these wonderful, powerful women in my life, but like, that wasn't me. So when my girls came home during COVID and I had to do curriculum with them, I was lost. I had no idea, and I learned a whole new level of respect. But part of it was, like, great teachers and coaches adapt to you, right? Like,
Yeah,
they will figure out what's going to work for you, because it's not cookie cutter where everything's going to go and fit the mold for
that's right.
everybody. And mental health especially is so, like, man, I've struggled so much over the years, Kelly, and that's why, like, on Windows Open, I'll post. I have this app. It's called, like, Motivational Quotes app, but it's more for, like, just positive affirmations and those types of things. And after a while, I just started sharing it on the page. Just like, it's as much for what I hope it may bring to someone, but it's very selfish, because it's like,
Yeah. Oh,
I need it, and so,
it's not
and
selfish though,
yeah,
Mike. That's not selfish. No,
well,
that's
but like, it's and I feel like, for when it comes to mental health, it's so important, and you never know whether it's Ronnie's regarded as the greatest of all time, right? But, like, even people you may think are, immortal or whatever, it's like, they're still human, and you can still struggle very much, and it's
100%.
such an important aspect of just
And
humanity and life and all these
that's
things.
right. That's right. Whether you're in the limelight, whether you're not, it doesn't matter. We're all here. We're all humans. And honestly, like you just said there, the positive thing,
Yeah,
what you post, what you share, the positive thoughts, thinking, and quotes, and different things. We, as players, again, I look at all stuff like that, because anything positive is good, right?
yeah,
But what we don't really touch on is what's really going on. I mean, I'm not going to sit
yeah,
here and tell you, whatever, but there's so many people, whether you play pool or whether you have got just job in any work, in any kind, there's so many people suffering with mental health. And
yeah.
if I've been very fortunate that overall I have not, but I have so many people around me that have or do. And, there's not one person that I know that they can't say they don't know somebody that's
Yeah.
struggling or has. And there's nothing wrong with it. And all we can do is just be there for them. But I would honestly thought about this Q Sports Hub USA that if I really think it can help not just pool players, but Noel, the way he talked to me, it was nothing to do with pool, what we ended up talking about.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, it was nothing to do with pool. It was all about how I think and process, and it was all about how to help my mindset to feel better about me. Now,
Yeah.
surely that's the same for every human, whatever you're doing in life, really.
Sure.
So I felt it really important. Not because I'm involved with it, not because I'm an ambassador of it. Of course, I want to promote it for that reason, and we're not going to lie. But
Yeah.
more so, I would share it anyway. Really, don't tell him that, but I would. I'm only
Yeah.
joking.
Yeah.
I would share it anyway because it's important. If it can help one person,
Then it's worth it. It's
it's
worth it.
worth it.
Yeah.
But I really firmly believe it's already helped me
Well, I
because how I
can.
was feeling, how I was feeling and getting a bit. I was thinking, if I'm totally honest, and I have said it to a few people, but I've not said it. I don't believe in anything out um, in the public. I was thinking about quitting playing 10 ball and 9 ball American pool and focusing on hay ball,
Yeah.
and that's how I got
Oh,
feeling.
that's as a result of like not having results. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, yeah,
Wow.
because you know, I was questioning, you know, everything I told you earlier, and
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
thought, should I focus on hayball because I think it's a hybrid of the snooker and pool, and I think it may suit me better. But doing both is very difficult because is that part of the reason? Is it because I'm not focusing on American pool and this is hurting my American pool game, or is my American pool game stalling my improvement on hayball? So that was going on in my mind too, and I spoke to Noel about that, and I thought about quitting American pool and focusing on hayball. But the problem is the competitor in me.
Yeah.
If you've got the World Championship 9 ball in Florida in December, there's no way Kelly's not going.
Yeah.
So let's be real,
Yeah. Yeah.
let's
Yeah.
be
Yeah.
real. Until I can't or I don't think I can win, then Kelly will be there. But um, he's already given me that inner confidence that it's not about the discipline. It's not about it's balls on the table at the end of it. Let's simplify it here. You've done it all your life. And just the way he talks. But anyway, all I'm saying is if it helps one person, whether it's to do with pool or whether it's to do with life or your particular self mental
Yeah. Yeah.
health, I'm just here to really say, take a look, like it, don't like it, whatever. But if it can help one person, I would hope it'd help thousands, and I
I
really
would
think it would.
I would scream from the mountaintops to take the time to look into it because
Yeah.
as someone who, especially over the last like 2 years, I've been and it's so funny because like, the I've had some people online before, man, you know a lot of people and I have a lot of friends and blah blah. And I'm like, no, I got like a real small circle of friends,
Mm.
and thank God for them because I don't know where I'd be without them.
Right.
And they know who they are, but like it's like even though you can be public, right, you can still very much be very private and alone at times. And I focused so much over the last 2 years, my mental health, my spiritual health, my diet, being a better dad, so many different things that like I didn't if I didn't take the time to work at them, then that's the reason why I'm not at the level that I want to be at them. And it's like anything
Of
else. And
course.
and if you're in it, whether you're a competitor or whatever, you just want to have a great like thriving life. Like being good here and everywhere
Yeah.
else here is so important. To be able to just I'm excited for tomorrow. And there was many times, Kelly, where I wasn't so excited for tomorrow,
Yeah. Yeah.
and so,
I
but
understand.
like,
Yeah.
you have to take time to address those aspects. And when you talked about traveling, I can only imagine like the level that can go and put a strain on you because I love getting home because when I get back in my routine, man, I feel good. My energy's levels where I want it to be. My diet's good. My mental health is good. I'm doing the work. But when I'm out and I'm on the road, man, I can't find the time to do this and that. And then I'm struggle here and it's
Yeah.
so easy to go and slide as a result. And so,
But not even
uh,
just that. I mean, when we've all, like you say, you've got a small circle of friends. I mean, I'm very lucky, I get on with the girls and the men players, and with even I've been in it that long that I know even the organizer and so on. But we all know that friends, your
yeah,
friends
yeah,
would,
yeah,
I've got, like I say, I've got a good,
yeah,
everybody, they know who they are. But the only way I can reach out to them most of the time, and family, most of the time, is by the FaceTime or phone
yeah,
calls. Well, sometimes you can be surrounded by 1,000 people and feel alone. Um,
absolutely.
and
Mm.
other times you can be alone and feel really alone and only have a phone that you can. And thank God for my family and friends that are there when I'm. It doesn't even have to be about anything to do with pool, you know, nothing at
Just
all.
are you doing
Just how I
okay?
feel.
Yeah, yeah,
How you doing? Yeah, just and same. Are you doing okay? And I mean, I've had some health issues in the past, not issues, but I had to have the open heart surgery, etc. Bouncing back from that, I had my family around me, I had friends around me. But so when you're on the road, unfortunately, you're having to sacrifice being around them people.
yeah,
uh, and that's even, forget pool, that's even a mental
yeah,
health can be, mentally draining, mentally strenuous, mentally, it can give some people mental health issues, and there's nothing
yeah,
wrong with that, but it's difficult. So, one thing I thought was really interesting with Ronnie O'Sullivan and Mark Selby was, having that um, person, or they think it should warrant having that support. Sorry, that's the word I'm looking for, at tournaments for players, because that could help the young ones coming through to avoid maybe falling down that spiral, as he called it.
yeah,
It's nothing to do with money or success. It's to do with human beings and how they're feeling under the stresses of life, or the stresses that, such as him, being so in the limelight and being so high in a sport, what that's caused him. So he was saying at tournaments that World Snooker should have that available for players, that support. Now, back to Q Sport. So, but this is an app. Sorry, this is online. You can play that um, back anytime you want. When you're feeling this way, that there's a video, for that, and you can just listen to it. It's like an audio that you can, mindset audio, that you can listen to anytime driving your car, before your match, after your match, whatever it may be, when you're feeling that way, whatever. And that's where I'm coming from. This is something that, we haven't got a psychologist sitting in an office waiting to go and see him here at this tournament, but I can put my phone on, put my earpod in, and I can just
yeah,
get that positivity prior to my match, anytime I want, after my
yeah,
match, when I'm feeling good or not good. It's not only negative; it can be, you
yeah,
know, anytime. So it's just something that I think is important to be, and we've all, to be available for players. We've all got positive videos and audios that we listen to, but this is
yeah,
kind of focusing on athletes or pool,
yeah.
Q
It would
sports.
be like if this will be one of the first things I would look into outside of getting a Q in a case, because it's so important. Like you talked about the mental side of sport, of especially Q sports, and how much that can give. Like, listen, as vulnerable as it can be at times, it can also give you a really good edge if you can go and harness that and maintain that, and like just put yourself in a nice positive area to be able to just thrive, and so but like anything else, you
Well,
got to go and equip yourself and learn,
that's
and
right.
all those
That's right.
things.
That's
I,
right. I
I
mean, how
want
many times do we, sorry, Mike, how many
to,
times do we like say we have a bad patch, and we not, I don't mean me necessarily, but a player has a bad patch, and you realise they had a bad breakup recently, for
yeah,
example,
yeah, yeah,
or they have a bad patch because one of their family members is ill, whatever it may be, whatever. We're only human, and I don't care what job you do. It's nothing to do with necessarily being professional at pool at all. It's to do at any level, anybody in any job or anything. We all face them challenges in life. It's life, and
yeah,
how you deal with them and how you get over them and through them mentally we all need help and support, and that's what I'm hoping that this can help anybody, you know.
Go check out Q Sports Hub USA. Kelly, I wanna get you out of here on one last thing because I know you got a match
Yeah,
later on.
yeah,
I want to
thank you.
see if what was that gentleman's name you mentioned? The one who runs it?
No Flannery.
No fun.
Flannery. Okay, yeah, I
See
was,
if
but
he'll
no
come on the
Flannery.
show. And I want to have both of
Absolutely.
and I want to have both of you on because I'd love to speak with him and then kind of get your perspective on things that he says and follow up because I'm thoroughly fascinated and enjoying this conversation because it's something
That'd
that
be awesome.
really hits home for me and I'm sure it does for a lot of people as well. So if
Exactly. Exactly.
I'm gonna hold
Absolutely.
you to it, Kelly. So we'll figure out a time and a
100%.
day. Yeah.
100%. Absolutely. I'd love that. I'd love that. And I know he would. He's all for, you know, you'll know when you meet him. He's very passionate about what he does. And he's helped quite a number of players at different levels. And he also does this for golf players and some darts players in the UK predominantly and golf players in Europe. So it's not just Q Sports that he's got a platform for either. So he's very experienced. I just hope you all in America can understand him, but we'll have to maybe do sometime. He's
I'll do
brilliant.
my best. Yeah.
You'll
Listen,
love him. You'll love him. He's great. We'll bring him on for sure. That'd be awesome.
okay, I'm gonna hold you to it. Kelly Fisher, I
100%.
appreciate your time as always. Good luck in the final 16 and
Thank
we're gonna
you.
be talking again soon.
100%. All right, Mike. Thank you very much for having me, and great chat as
See you
always.
guys.
Thanks, Darren.